Hello everyone, Jai Hind and welcome back to Gyanonymous School. In lecture 9 of Criminology live lecture series, we have been discussing about Penology. So in the part 1, we learned that Penology is the scientific study of punishment. We learned about correction, prisons, sentencing, and also about rehabilitations. We also traced the evolution of punishment systems from ancient revenge-based system to modern correctional facilities. Today, in part 2 of lecture 9, we are going to explore one of the most important and frequently asked topics in criminology. It's also asked in law, in police administration, and also in UGC NET criminology, as well as in law examinations. That is about theories of punishment. In criminology as well as in penology, theories of punishment plays an important role. So it is very important from the central theme of criminology. So have you ever wondered why we punish offenders? Why we punish people? Is punishment meant to make offenders suffer, or is it to scare offenders from committing crime? Should punishment focus on protecting society, or should punishment help offenders become better human beings? Different philosophers, actually different jurists and criminologists, have answered these questions differently from time to time. These answers give rise to various theories of punishment. Actually, while answering such questions, proponents come with various theories of punishment. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand not only what these theories are, but also you will be able to understand where each theory succeeds, where it fails, and how modern criminal justice system combines all the theories of punishment into practice. So let's begin with that. So what is theory of punishment? Simply, a theory of punishment is a philosophical explanation of why society punish offenders. Let's say in simple words, the answer, it actually answered the question in simple words, like what is the purpose of punishment? The theory of punishment actually answers the questions of what is the purpose of punishment. So over time, several theories have emerged, but they all converged into 6 major theories. Okay, they are retributive theory, deterrent, preventive, reformative theory, expiatory theory, and restorative justice theory. So if we need to remember them, I remember it like this way: RDP, RER, RDP, RER. I just remember in such abbreviations for exam perspective. It's RDP, retributive, deterrent, and preventive theory, and RER, reformative, expiatory, and restorative theory. So it is very important to remember them, because they come very confusing. The name sometimes becomes very confusing, and the concepts become altered actually if you don't remember them well. Anyway, modern criminal justice system actually or generally do not rely only one of the theories. Like modern criminal justice system doesn't depend only on expiatory theory, or not even on preventive theory, which is also called incapacitation theory. They just combine all these 6 depending on the nature of the offense, and also depending on the offender, and also with respect to the interest of the society. So now we are going to discuss all these 6 theories in this lecture one by one. Therefore, this part 2 of lecture 9 of theories of punishment will be very important one. So let's begin with retributive theory of punishment, which is one of the oldest theories of criminology. Retributive theory actually based on simple idea, like a wrongdoer deserves punishment because they have committed a crime. If some people has done something wrong, or someone has done something wrong, he or she should be punished. That's simple. The word actually retribution, it actually means repayment, or this is also called just desert. Okay, it can also be said just desert theory. This theory actually often misunderstood with revenge or vengeance. It is not a revenge theory. Retributive theory is not actually revenge theory, or not actually vengeance theory. But there is actually important difference between the vengeance theory and retributive theory. Revenge or vengeance is very personal in nature, or maybe even emotional in nature, but retribution is actually lawful, and it is also proportionate. So under the retributive theory, punishment is imposed because justice actually requires it. Justice requires retribution. It is not because it will necessarily reform the offender. No, it is not just to reform the offender, but justice requires it. So retribution is important from the point of view of justice. The moral balance disturbed by crime must be restored through a proportionate legal punishment, which is the central theme of retribution theory. If we go to the proponents, like German philosopher Immanuel Kant, who strongly supported this view, he actually argued that punishment should never be merely as a tool to achieve some future benefit. Instead, a person who commits a crime should be punished because justice demands it. Retribution is for justice. Similarly, Friedrich Hegel, who viewed punishment as the negation of wrong committed by offender, thereby restoring the authority of law. Let's for an example, suppose a person intentionally commits a murder. So under retributive theory, the offender who commits murder deserves punishment because the act of murder itself morally wrong and also legally wrong. So the focus is not on reforming the offender or deterring the offender, but on the ensuring that justice is done. So we must remember that retribution is not for deterrence or not for reformation. We will get that in other theories. It is just for the purpose of justice. So why is retribution? First of all, in this theory we learned that retribution is not revenge, it is not vengeance. It is for justice, and it is not for reforming the offender. It is not to deterring others. We will get that on deterrent theory and other theories, but this theory is for justice. That is, retribution is for justice. So as we learned about retribution theory, what is merit of it? What are the merits of retribution theory? As we can see that retribution upholds the rule of law. It recognizes moral responsibility. It also provides justice to victims and society. That whoever done wrong, the offender, he gets retributed, and thus justice is served. It also prevents arbitrary or excessive punishment by insisting on proportionality. Retribution goes on the principle of proportionality, so there is no excessive punishment or there is no arbitrary punishment. Arbitrary punishments means it is not according, when it is not according to any legal structure, like not according to any institutionalized code or not according to any written law. If someone does it something, someone announces a punishment for an offense out of just some public pressure, or maybe out of some political gain, or maybe out of any social causes, if there is no binding principle, or simply if there is no binding law or criminal justice system which is in practice, such announcement are or such practices are called arbitrary practices of punishment. So retribution is not arbitrary punishment system. It actually prevents arbitrary punishment system or even excessive punishment system. It prevents it. It focuses on proportionality of punishment. So these are the merits of retribution or retributive theory of punishment. With merits, there also comes some criticism, and the theory actually it looks backward rather than forward. Retribution doesn't go with like reforming the individual. It doesn't go with integrating the individual into mainstream. So it just goes and punish for the wrongdoing to the so it actually looks backward. It is not a forward looking theory. It actually may not reduce future crime. It gives limited attention for rehabilitation. There is no scope of rehabilitation in this theory. It also doesn't address the underlying causes of criminal behavior, whether there may be some social causes, there may be some kind of economic causes and other causes which for what the criminal chooses that way. So the retributive theory doesn't address that all. It just go with the punishment through retribution. So that is all the criticism of retributive theory of punishment. Now moving ahead to the second theory of punishment, that is deterrent theory of punishment. So it is one of the most influential theories in modern criminal justice. This theory, that is the deterrent theory, is based on the belief that punishment discourages crime by creating fear of legal consequences. Simply, what is deterrence? The word of deterrence meaning is just to fear, to create a fear. Okay, like in international relations, we often hear the word nuclear deterrent, or missile deterrence, like that if a state having a nuclear power, it has that other state wouldn't attack it easily. Okay, so deterrent, the word deterrent or deterrence, it means that through this process of punishment, the punishment would create a deterrent effect, so that other people who looks into it would be afraid to commit such types of crime. Theoretically, this idea is very simple. If people know that crime will result in certain and proportionate punishment, they will think twice before actually offending. So this is a very simple idea. This theory was strongly supported by Cesar Beccaria, who is the father of criminology, and also by Jeremy Bentham. Beccaria actually argued that punishment should be certain, swift, proportionate, and prescribed by law. We should remember these things what Beccaria argued. It should be certain, swift, proportionate, and prescribed by law. He also believed that certainty of punishment is most effective than excessive severity of punishment. It is like that Beccaria simply believed that punishment must be certain than the amount of punishment. Like if someone does something wrong, it is not that his hand should be cut. If he goes to the jail, or if he goes to the correctional facility for few months or maybe few years, that's enough. But it should be certain that he or she will get some punishment for the wrongdoings. It is not that by some loopholes he or she will come out of the punishment. No, if someone does something wrong, he or she will certainly get some punishment, whatever amount it must be. So according to Bentham, uh, the certainty of punishment is more effective than excessive severity. So there are various types of deterrence, like general deterrence. The purpose of general deterrence is to discourage public from committing similar offenses. Let's, for example, a widely publicized conviction for corruption may discourage other public officials from accepting bribes. if someone accepts, if someone is caught in accepting bribe, or caught in the offense of corruption, if he is widely his punishment is widely publicized, other public servants or other people will feel discouraged to take or to accept bribes. This is what are called general deterrence. Specific deterrence, it can be the purpose of specific deterrence is to prevent the same offender from committing future crimes. Like an offender who experiences imprisonment may actually decide never to offend again. Let's say traffic fines or speed cameras and drink and driving testing. These are, if someone goes through such fine or test, if someone had to fine for traffic violation or speed driving, or maybe for drunken driving, he will think twice before again driving after he or she is drunk. So people obey the laws partly. People actually don't, most of the people don't like to obey the laws fully. They often obey the laws partly because they fear being caught or being punished. So this is what deterrence is. If we come with the merits of deterrence theory, it actually helps prevent planned crimes. It encourages to respect laws. It protects society by discouraging offending. It is also coming with some criticisms, like not all offenders act rationally. Crimes committed in anger, maybe under intoxication or due mental illness, may not be deterred. So such crimes it's not possible. Deterrence theory doesn't work in such crimes. Okay. Then other criticism may be excessive or harass punishment may violate human rights. There's human right concern also in deterrence theory. So this is what deterrence theory we have learned. So let's move ahead to the another theory, that is preventive theory, or preventive theory, also called theory of incapacitation. So you may be confused that if you read somewhere it is incapacitation theory, it is the same as preventive theory. That is, preventive theory is equal to incapacitation theory. Unlike deterrent theory, which actually seeks to create fear, or the preventive theory, on the other hand, it focuses on protecting the society by preventing offenders from committing further crimes. Whatever he has or she has done, that's done, but this theory focuses on the preventing of future crimes. The central idea of this theory is that if the offender cannot commit crime, society remains safe. The central idea is that this theory, or through this theory of punishment, offender, it holds offender back from committing crime, so that society remains same. How we can achieve this? This can be achieved through imprisonment, maybe preventive detention, where authorities take care of the inmates, or maybe disqualification from certain professions, maybe restriction of movements, maybe electronic monitoring through some jurisdictions. So the objective is not necessarily to reform the offender, but to reduce opportunities for further offending. So in incapacitation or preventive theory is that simply the offender is confined, so that he is not integrated into the society. So because he is such kind of person, and he has probability of doing future crimes, so he is confined or exiled from the society, and or he is prevented from doing certain works. Maybe in certain cases he is disqualified from the job, and even restriction of movement is also there. Let's, for an example, if there is heavy swell armed robber who is who is imprisoned, he cannot continue robbing people while serving the sentence. So if someone is habitually robbing again and again, he should be imprisoned for a longer duration, so that he shouldn't be moving open in the society like normal people, because he will be doing that so and so again and again. So this is what incapacitation theory or preventive theory of penology. Coming to the merits of this theory, what can be the merits of this theory? This theory, it protects society immediately. It reduces repeat offending during the period of incapacitation or during the period of detention. This theory also useful against dangerous and habitual offenders. So these are the merits, because in this theory it is advised that offenders should be confined or exiled or maybe prevented, or they were to be kept in preventive detention. Criticism now. What can be the criticism of this theory? It doesn't guarantee long-term reform. Reform is not guaranteed in this theory. Even no attempt of reform is made. The central idea of this theory is not reform, just to prevent him or prevent her from doing further crime. There is no central idea of reform through this theory. So crime may continue after the release. If he is even getting released after 10 years, he may come back to the society and do the same or similar activities like robbing, dacoity, or extortion, or like that. Other criticisms may be like long-term punishment can sometimes increase institutional and social isolation. There may be also kind of human right violation or natural right violation also in such types of punishments. So this is what we learned about the incapacitation or preventive theory of crime. So far we have learned three theories of not crime actually, three theories of punishment. Now we are moving towards the fourth theory of punishment, that is reformative theory of punishment. We hope you people are understanding it. I would like to remind you that when you are watching it as a video after this live finishes, please do watch it on 1.5x, because there you will be able to understand it better, and it will be more faster, because here on I am speaking very slowly, so that you will be able to understand it much clearly. So when you watch while it's not live as a video, when you're gonna watch it as a course or lecture series, please do watch this on 1.5x, and it would be helpful for you. Thank you. So coming back to reformative theory of punishment, the name as it goes, it reforms the offender. So this theory is said as heart of modern penology. The reformative theory is the heart of modern punishment. It believes that offenders are capable to sense. Instead of asking like questions like how much should the offender suffer, how much punishment we should give to the offenders, reformative theory doesn't ask that question. It asks like, how can the offender become a law-abiding citizen? How can we reintegrate the offender into the society and making him a better human being? So modern criminology actually recognizes that many offenders commit crimes because of various factors like that of poverty, that of addiction, lack of education, maybe because of child trauma, also definitely because of family breakdown, due to social influence, due to mental health challenges. So we have learned all this in our other lectures, like social through we have learned it through social theory or sociological theory of criminology, like differential association theory, routine activity theory, etc., where we learned that these factors like poverty, addiction, lack of education, childhood trauma, family breakdown, social influence, or mental health challenges, these all contribute to crime. So if these causes are addressed, many offenders can successfully actually reintegrate into society. So what can be the method of reform? So the method of reform actually can be education, it can be counseling, it is definitely vocational training, psychological therapy, maybe drug de-addiction, also behavior modification by various methodology like CBT, that is cognitive behavioral therapy. It may be various skill development courses, maybe spiritual and moral education like Vipassana yoga, which is practiced in United States correctional facilities, maybe family counseling even. So many modern prisons now provide various libraries, educational programs, even vocational workshops, also counseling services. If we go with an example of an young and first-time offender who is convicted of theft, if we give him some kind of rigorous punishment where he has to earn his living, there is less chance that he will be reformed, because he is a first-time offender convicted of theft or petty theft. Okay, so if we give him vocational training during his sentencing period or while he is in prison, after release, there is a possibility that he will get some stable employment, and which can reduce the likelihood of reoffending. So that is the purpose of reformative punishment system. So that's what reformative justice or reformative punishment system. If we go with the merit of reformative justice system, it reduces recidivism. What is recidivism? It means the doing the same crime over and over, or second time offender. So it reduces recidivism. It also respects human dignity. It may also encourage rehabilitation. It benefits both offender and also the society. Along with merits, there come a lot more criticisms, like some dangerous offenders who may not respond to treatment. Like some rehabilitation programs require trained staff and resources, where most of the correctional facilities lack into that. Critics also argue that excessive focus on reform may actually appear insufficiently responsive to the victims. In reformative justice system, what is going on in all over in our country, in India, we can say there was a famous case where I would not take the name of the case because it's a very heinous crime, where one person had cut his girlfriend into 35 pieces and put the pieces in freeze and take them away one by one at night and dispose them off. So later he was released. Later he was arrested simply. He is serving sentence. The case is still ongoing. However, I just few days back I got to know that he is giving some exam of in distance learning education from some university, from the jail itself, from the prison itself. So as he is doing such a heinous crime, murder in such a I can't say every murder is inhuman, but in such a way that like he is cutting kind of a chicken, or like that he is making pieces of human being, his girlfriend, into 35 pieces. And even after that, his case is still ongoing on the court, and he is studying there, getting a degree in psychology, sitting in exam even in the jail. So we must rethink about reformative justice or reformative punishment systems with respect to various categories of crime. If it is a heinous to heinous crime, or a rarest of the rare crime, like such kind of murders, maybe rape or gang rape or child rape, so in such cases the justice system must think of whether restorative punishment is applicable to them or not. So whatever the criticism may be, nevertheless, the reformative approach is widely regarded as the foundation of modern correctional facilities. So that is what a restorative justice system or a restorative punishment. Coming to the expiatory theory of punishment. Now, what is expiatory theory of punishment? The expiatory theory has its roots in moral and religious thoughts. What the word expiation means? It means atonement or making amends of wrongdoing. If anyone does something wrong, for some wrongdoing, there's amendment of wrongdoing, that is expiation. So according to this theory, punishment provides an opportunity for offenders to recognize their wrongdoings, to express remorse, and also to seek moral redemption. It emphasizes on the internal transformation rather than external suffering. This theory actually focuses on internal transformation of the offender. So it encourages repentance, it encourages social reflection, moral responsibility, and also ethical growth. So, although in modern legal systems it do not rely solely on this theory, its influence can be seen in the in programs that encourage offenders to acknowledge the harm they caused and take responsibility of the actions. So basically, expiatory theory is nothing but the taking responsibility of the harm, and going with self-reflection and going with moral responsibility along with ethical growth. So that is what is expiatory theory of punishment. Now coming, what is restorative justice? We sometimes we confirm, even still I confuse with reformative and restorative justice. I'm sorry if I have intersensitive word. In fourth, we have gone with reformative justice or reformative punishment theory. Now we are going with restorative punishment or restorative justice. So one of the most significant development in modern penology is the concept of actually this theory, that is restorative justice. While traditional punishment asks like which law was broken actually, on the other hand, restorative justice, it asks who was harmed and how can that harm be repaired. In restorative justice, the reparation of harm is the primary focus. This approach actually involves victims, offenders, their families, and also communities. They involve all the stakeholders where appropriate and voluntary in repairing the consequences of crime. The offender actually here encouraged to accept the responsibility, apologize, and also to compensate the victims where appropriate. So it also repair relationship, reintegrate into society. So the victim here is given an opportunity to express the impact of offense and participate meaningfully in the justice process. So if we think of a restorative justice system, it is even though said to be very modern to penology, we must say that in Northeast India there are some tribes where still there are customary laws, and from the ages in such customary laws there are the system of restorative justice. As we have learned that in ancient laws or in ancient tribe laws in across the world, we have so far learned that there was mainly vengeance or maybe revenge, but here in Northeast India we have learned that I have seen in first-hand examples in certain tribes there are restorative justice process even in their customary laws. So even someone is doing harm to someone, that family has to repair him, that family has to apologize him, and take moral responsibility as well as compensation of the victim, which whoever may be appropriate, and also making effort to repair the relationship with the help of communities and families. So even though it is said to be very new, we have been practicing this in Northeast India for a long period. So as a theory, if we go with the benefit of it, what is the benefit of restorative justice? It actually promotes healing, it encourages offenders accountability, it reduces repeat offending in suitable cases, it strengthens community participations. So these are the benefits. Similarly, what can be the limitations? Limitations can simply be that restorative justice is not going to apply in every offense. In every offense, particularly in heinous and serious crimes, restorative justice is not going to happen. It requires informed and voluntary participation. Restorative justice actually requires both the parties to be voluntary. The offenders need to be voluntary, as well as the victim also need to be voluntary to accept the compensation, to accept the apology, or to reintegrate with the offender. So another limitation can be it may be very unsuitable in serious cases or in serious crimes, as we have discussed, like murder, like rape, or such crimes. So this is what is a restorative justice system, that is last justice system or last punishment system we have studied. So as we have studied all the 6 theories of punishment, there come a question: can one of these theories solve every problem? Like, can the restorative system we have just learned, or can the expiatory system, or reformative, or other theories that we have studied, whether one theory can solve the problem? Whether the justice system can solely rely on only one theory? The answer is no. Every theory has its strength and limitations. If we go with some example, like a terrorist with a very like a most wanted terrorist, he may require strong incapacitation to protect the society if he is a serial offender, or a corrupt public official who may require deterrent punishment to discourage similar misconduct, like maybe suspension or dismissal from the service. Other examples can be like a victim of minor property damage may value restoration and compensation more than severe punishment. So these are the example which says that every theory has its own merits and limitations. So we must integrate all the theories in the criminal justice systems and apply according to case by case basis. So modern criminal justice adopts a balanced approach. It goes with balancing all the 6 theories. Court considers the seriousness of the offense, it considers the offender's intent, also the criminal history of the offender. It definitely considers the age, like when he is below 18 years old age in India, he will be treated with a juvenile justice act, and if he is adult, he will be dealt with the normal BNS and BNSS. The court also looks into the possibility of reform. Also, it looks into the harm caused to the victim. It definitely looks into how much harm the victim got from that particular offense. It looks into the public interest and also about legal principles. So this is why sentencing is one of the most complex responsibility of judiciary. In Indian context, if we go and look into the 6th theory, so Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which is newly implemented criminal law in India, it deals with it, and Indian courts have consistently recognized that punishment should serve multiple objectives, including justice, deterrence, also protection of society, and very much focus on a rehab where it is appropriate, also respect for constitutional values and human dignity. So Indian Penology doesn't rely exclusively on one theory, but also integrates different approaches according to the facts of each case, according to the merit of each case. So in India, in criminal justice process, every case is handled as a very individual and unique case. No two case comes similar. So that's all for today. We have studied about the 6 punishment theories. If we go with the quick revision of them before we conclude, the retributive theory, where punishment is given more priority because justice demands it. Next, coming to secondly, deterrent theory, where punishment discourages future crime. Coming third, that is preventive theory or incapacitation theory, where punishment protects society by preventing further offending. Other theories can be reformative theory, where punishment seeks to transform offenders into responsible citizens. Expiatory theory, where punishment encourages repentance and moral reformation. Expiatory theory looks into moral reformation and reintegration. On the other hand, lastly, we have learned about restorative justice or restorative theory of punishment, where punishment focuses on repairing the harm and restoring relationships between offender and the victim wherever it is appropriate. So, in conclusion, today's lecture has shown us that punishment is far more than simply imposing pain. Just even to the punishment, the word conveys meanings like punishment should be like there should be some pain into it, because whoever about to get the punishment, he or she probably have done something wrong, or he and she actually had done something wrong. But through these 6 theories, or combining all these six theories, balancing these 6 theories, we found that the punishment system is not so easy. It's not simply imposing the pain. Like different theories reflect different understanding of justice. Some emphasizes on accountability, some also on public safety, some actually focuses on preventing crime. Other theories may prioritize rehab or healing. So modern theory or modern penology teaches us that an effective criminal justice system must protect society, respect the rights of victims, uphold the rule of law, and whenever possible create opportunities for genuine reform. Of course, in not heinous or serious crimes. So that's all our lecture. So I would like to ask a question from today's lecture. Can you please tell me what is the another name of preventive theory of punishment or preventive theory of justice? What is the another official name of preventive theory of justice or preventive theory of punishment? There is another name. I have gone through it over and over again. So please answer me in the comment box. What is the another name of preventive theory of justice or preventive theory of punishment? So in the next part of our Penology masterclass, or this 9th flagship lecture, we will study practical sides of punishments, like type of punishment. Maybe we will also study about capital punishment, imprisonment, fine, probation, parole, community service, which is newly introduced in BNS. Also about open and closed prisons, about brothel institutions. We will also study about prison administration and various correctional institutions. So thank you for joining me in this lecture. If you find this lecture or this session valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to Gyanonymous School. together, let's contribute in advancing knowledge in criminology, in police administration, criminal justice system, and national security. Thank you, and Jai Hind.